Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for today, Friday, October 25th, 2019.
Commissioner Villegas, Garcia, James, and Caloza are present. President James, you do have a quorum. May we start with Bureau introductions, please, starting with Bureau of Street Services.
Good morning, Hector Banuelos, Bureau of Streets LA.
Good morning, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting.
Farhana Mohammed, good morning, LA Sanitation and Environment.
Good morning, Gene Edwards, Bureau of Engineering.
Good morning, George Espindola, Bureau of Contract Administration.
Good morning, Ted Jordan, Public Works General Counsel.
Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. President James, we did receive one speaker card under General Public Comment. We have no commentary under the Neighborhood Council Comments section. We did receive a speaker card also on item number 2 and 5, and we do have speakers here for item number 9, and the speaker card is pending.
Okay, then let's do agenda item number 6, Administrative Item, Council District 7. The Mayor has approved and authorized the Board of Public Works on behalf of Sanitation to execute a letter of agreement between the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power and Sanitation regarding funding for the Bradley Green Alley Stormwater Capture Project at a cost not to exceed $140,000 for a term of 1 year. That's coming back from signature already been approved. Is there a second to my motion that we adopt agenda item number 6 forthwith by Commissioner Garcia? Any objection? Without objection, that'll be the order on agenda item number 6. Is there a second to my motion that we approve the meeting minutes from the meeting of Friday, October 18th, 2019 by Commissioner Villegas? Any objection? Without objection, those meeting minutes will be approved. If you all will give me 1 second, I will make my way over to the podium for our Recicla Star Award this morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome again. We have a Recicla Star presentation this morning for Amoeba Music, and their RSP, their service provider is Athens. Since 2017, as you all know, all businesses in Los Angeles have been required to participate in the Recicla program at Sanitation for their waste and recycling service. This is the first time that all businesses in Los Angeles have had the opportunity to recycle. Sometimes some of them had some success, most of them didn't, and this program is having significant success in this area. As part of the Recicla Star Awards, we wanted to highlight the businesses that have really gone above and beyond in their recycling efforts. These are organizations that are setting an example for environmental stewardship in their communities, and it's great. We seem to be doing one of these every month or so, maybe even a little bit more frequently than that, which is great that so many businesses are really going the extra mile. So far in 2019, Recicla has hit several milestones with recycling and with landfill diversion. Over 1 million cubic yards of recyclable material has been collected from blue bins. It's actually 1,070,497 if you're keeping track. Over 15,000 cubic yards of recyclable material has been collected from green bins. That's 15,288. Recicla has brought 500 clean fuel trucks to LA's roads, replacing the noisy, stinky, unhealthy old diesel trucks. It's a big benefit of the program, of course, and communities notice it, neighbors notice it. Recicla services over 67,000 customer accounts citywide and has a 99.9% on-time collection rate. Now, let me just expand on that for just a moment, because we were very involved in what I call stabilizing the rollout of Recicla after it took place. Anytime you convert or transition the second largest city in America with all of our commercial accounts to the franchise system, the rollout is going to be quite a task. While it was, within 1 year, we had stabilized service. And now the service rate that the recycla haulers are getting at 99.9 is just a touch under the daily success rate that sanitation has. And that's been our goal all along. So congratulations to all of the participants in getting us there in the service area. So today I am pleased to present our newest Recycla Star Award recipient and thank them for their efforts in moving Los Angeles toward a zero waste reality. Amoeba Music, and I know that we have a representative from Amoeba Music that's getting a platinum Recycla Star today. Somebody from Amoeba here? Come on up. I'll do my best not to embarrass you. Hi. Hi, Cara. Congratulations. This is Cara Lane, our marketing and events director from Amoeba Music. And by the way, so I don't live far from Amoeba Music. It's an icon in Hollywood, has been, given its relatively young life, in all things considered. So thank you for being such a great neighbor. In 2001, Amoeba Music opened its third location on Sunset Boulevard in downtown Hollywood. That's the location I'm talking about. Occupying an entire city block, Amoeba is the world's largest independent music store. Amoeba Music staff, customers, and performing artists comprise a unique musical community and an incubator for positive energy. Amoeba Music entered the Recycla program in November of 2017. Athens Services, their Recycla service provider, conducted a zero waste assessment and suggested recommendations to improve their diversion rate, which at the time was 61.5%. Not bad when you're starting out even. Today, Amoeba Music diverts an impressive 75% of their waste from landfills. That's a great number. Sustainability is a core principle that the owners obviously highly value. Reuse, repurpose, and recycle are used in every single department at Amoeba Music, including they currently have 3 blue bins and 1 black bin, which are serviced 5 times a week. So the service assessment is working. Recycling bins labeled with Recycla signage along with handmade signs are found throughout the 25,000 square foot facility. Only a few trash bins are present. Amoeba is vigilant in making sure there is no contamination, which is a big deal for recycling, as you know. Amoeba encourages customers to bring their own bags and offers high-quality totes for purchase, which are always nice. Amoeba reuses paper, plastic bags, bubble wrap, and cardboard boxes for shipping. They use right-sized boxes for LPs, CDs, and DVDs. And I don't know if this is true or not, but just back before the meeting, our city attorney and I were having a discussion with a member of our staff who indicated that she's heard that LPs are now, or was it you, Ted, that heard that? LPs are now outselling CDs?
I think that's what I heard, but I'm sure our experts here will.
Coming from, well, we have the expert here.
Yes.
Neck and neck, which I think is pretty remarkable. Turntable sales have got to be up, right? Amoeba has employees whose sole purpose is to separate the materials in CD and DVD cases so they're properly recycled, very important. Amoeba goes so far as to repurpose material and construct it into something new with a part-time on-site carpenter. Creative. One example, they repurposed an old table into shelves for use in the store. Amoeba has an entire room dedicated as an electronic waste collection area. They also accept light bulbs, so all are disposed of responsibly. And Amoeba filters their tap water so employees can fill reusable water bottles. Amoeba Music not only services their local community, I'm one of them, but also national and international causes. It raises money for charities through auctions, on-site customer donations, matching contributions, and special events. And while it doesn't say so here, I happen to know it, that Amoeba Music is also a jewel of a tourist attraction for us in Los Angeles and in Hollywood. So congratulations, Cara. Congratulations to Amoeba Music on your Platinum Recycla Star. Thank you. We'll face that way real quick.
Okay.
And the microphone is yours.
Thank you, Kevin, and just want to thank all the commissioners for recognizing us. Recycling, coming from the Bay Area especially, has always been near and dear to our hearts with all we do. It's been a big piece of it. And Athens as a partner, thank you guys for everything and educating us even more, keeping us up to date on what we can do better, how much more we can recycle, and being a part of Los Angeles in the heart of Hollywood has meant a lot to us. Thank you guys for recognizing our efforts, and we hope to keep doing better and stay here. Thank you.
And we'll just wait for one moment for a group photo. Also, we have representatives from Athens here this morning. We have Laura, Jessica, Bailey, and Jasmine. So please come forward and say a few words for us. Good to see you again. And thank you again. Athens, by the way, our largest hauler as far as zones and customers as well, correct? Right. Thank you, Athens.
Yeah. Thank you. We have about 22,000 or so accounts in the Recycla zones of all 7 zones. Thank you to the commissioners of the Board of Public Works, to LA Sanitation, and especially to Amoeba Music. You are beyond deserving of this Recycla Award. Amoeba Music, as we all know, is a historical staple in Los Angeles that cares about the well-being of the community and the environment. And as we have heard today, they are setting an example for other Los Angeles businesses on how to incorporate environmental sustainability into their efforts and everyday practices, and also having that trickle down into the practices and behavior of your employees and of your customers. Even prior to Recycla, Amoeba Records or Amoeba Music, it's really hard for me not to say Amoeba Records. Amoeba Music was setting the bar high, and since the inception, they have been active collaborators in taking advantage of the program benefits. Not only are you known as the best music store in LA, and I would also venture to say the nation, maybe I'm being biased, but I think that's true. You are also now known today and beyond as a leader in environmental sustainability here in Los Angeles. And I really look forward to all of our businesses that we're working with and all the businesses in Recycla through all the zones looking to you and saying, okay, how did you do it? How was this so simple for you? How can you encourage us to be able to take on these roles as well? And that really excites me. So thank you for being a shining example to every business here in Los Angeles. And thank you to the commissioners here and the board. And Athens Services, gives you all the love for all of your great efforts. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll hear from Commissioner Garcia, and then we'll take a quick photo.
Amoeba, you can stand over here. That way, you guys get to stand here for a minute. Come back. Just for a tiny bit. Congratulations on this really nice award. It's definitely contributing to the city's vision, to the city's goals, and to what we are trying to accomplish here at Public Works. So thank you for being part of our solution and part of just making the environment much better. You said something that you came from the Bay Area, and so ultimately we know that we're taking care of our ocean. And this is something that we also do here on a daily basis. We run what we call Kids Ocean Day. So when you said that, I thought, oh, good, you're also contributing to the education with your employees and with everybody else that comes to Amoeba Music to make sure that we do protect our environment, and that includes our ocean. So thank you for doing that. Everything you guys are doing is amazing. I grew up here in LA. I'm born and raised here in LA. So Amoeba Music, Amoeba Records, was a very iconic place, and I would take the bus to make sure that we got there and hang out with friends there when we were in high school. So congratulations on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Garcia. Commissioner Caloza.
Thank you, President James. First, thank you to President James for your leadership and for doing the presentation today, and also to LA Sanitation for continuing to bring forth and highlight businesses that we may not traditionally be known for sustainability efforts. And it's really exciting that, Amoeba Music in every way possible, it seems like from your business operations that you're really trying to integrate these green solutions in how you do work, and your thoughtfulness in how you do business is really making a difference, and it makes me want to shop there even more. And so I think you guys are such a great example for how businesses in the music and entertainment industry can contribute to the larger efforts of what we're doing here at the city, and we really thank you for all that you do. So thank you so much, and thank you to Athens for being an amazing partner in this. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Caloza. So we will take just a quick recess from our agenda for a quick photograph with Athens and Amoeba folks over here?
Yeah.
Great, thank you. Okay, everyone, back on our agenda this morning. Again, congratulations and thank you to Amoeba Music. Agenda item number 2 is a contract amendment, Los Angeles Conservation Corps, for the sidewalk repair program, recommending that the board authorize the Office of Community Beautification to execute a contract amendment with the Los Angeles Conservation Corps in the amount of $300,000 for tree procurement, planting, and record-keeping services as part of the sidewalk repair program. And secondly, authorize myself or 2 members of the board to execute the contract amendment after approval as to form has been obtained by the city attorney. Ms. Weezar.
Good morning, President James, board members, and executives. My name is Anna Weezar, and I am a community coordinator with the Office of Community Beautification. And today, the Office of Community Beautification is requesting a contract amendment with LACC, or better known as the Los Angeles Conservation Corps. We are requesting an addition of $300,000 for tree planting services for the sidewalk repair program. As some of you may already know, the city's sidewalk repair program has 3 different components. The first being the access program, the second being the rebate program, and the third a sidewalk, where the general public is able to report a sidewalk in need of repair. As part of this program, trees have had to be removed and replaced. And we do work with LACC to replace the ones that have been removed. We do it in hopes of fulfilling the city's 2-to-1 tree replacement policy. Additional partners that help with the coordination of this include City Plants, Bureau of Engineering, and the Urban Forestry Division. Since the initiation of the program, LACC has planted 853 trees. And with the additional funding of $300,000, it is anticipated that they will plant an additional 470 trees. I'd also like to add that as of October 1st, the sidewalk rebate program reopened its application process. And since then, we've roughly received 150 applications, meaning that we're going to have to replace many more trees. With that said, the Office of Community Beautification is requesting a contract amendment with LACC in the amount of $300,000 for tree procurement, planting, and record-keeping services as it relates to the sidewalk repair program.
Thank you, ma'am. Before we take questions, I've got a friendly reminder from Mr. Sachs that he put in a speaker card on number 2. So, Mr. Sachs, please come forward on number 2. Thank you for the reminder.
Yes, thank you. Good morning. These are the kind of things that really kind of like catch my attention for 2 reasons. A, approval as to form. I hear that all the time at the County Board of Supervisors with contracts from the attorneys that it's an approval all as to form. The form really has nothing to do with it. You can get a form at the 99-cent store. It's the content. And if you don't pay attention to the content, then you don't really know what you're signing. So you would hope that the legal bodies that are advising the elected officials would look at it and say, you know what, we need to find out what's exactly in this contract. And in this particular case, not to take anything away from tree planting, but it's regarding a sidewalk repair program. Sidewalk repair, usually you have to repair sidewalks because of trees that have overgrown roots. And yet, the city is using this as a way to plant trees. You can't hold 10 spoons in your hand and eat out of each spoon at the same time, unless you're a magician. It's this kind of stuff that always seems to make its way into agenda items, and I'm not blaming the commissioners, and I'm not blaming the people from the program, but I'm blaming the public, actually, because the public says, we want our sidewalks repaired, and then they get this. Something needs to be done to pay attention to what exactly is going on in everyday mundane city council work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sachs. Any questions for Ms. Weezer on number 2, Commissioner Caloza?
Thanks, President James. Hi, Anna. I have just a follow-up. I think I asked Jerry last time he was here during a contract amendment, and I know I was talking to Commissioner Garcia about it also recently, but if OCB can please follow up and send us information and a list of all the different contract amendments, I think it would be really helpful to see the totals for each nonprofit and what the total amounts are. We see them coming through, but it would be really helpful to see the context of how much each nonprofit has been receiving throughout the calendar year.
We will do that for you.
Thanks.
And I'll follow up as well, Commissioners. And then just a reminder, every quarter we do submit reports to the Ethics Commission, and those ethics reports do include the amendments as well.
I don't think those include the amounts. I review those as well.
Okay, I will double check, but we'll make sure that that is included.
Thank you. Commissioner Villegas.
Good morning. Thanks for the information. My question was aligned somewhat to Commissioner Calosa's comments. I just wanted to get updates on the program. I'm glad to see the strong partnership with LA Conservation Corps, but I just wanted to get updates, so that would be helpful.
Happy to do that for everyone.
Thank you. Anything further? Then I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 2, seconded by Commissioner Garcia. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 2. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, board members.
Have a nice weekend. Any issue sending number 2 forthwith? We'll send number 2 forthwith. We've got an oral report on number 9. There's a request for a continuance of number 9, but before we do that, our petroleum administrator has indicated that he would like to give just a brief summary update before the continuance. So, Mr. Entuck, we'll hear from you, and I know that representatives from NASCO are in the audience if we have a question today. The request for the continuance is to November 15th, which is 3 weeks from today, if my math is right. And number 9 is the status on the compliance relative to NASCO Petroleum LLC with Section 4.7 of Ordinance number 184966 within 120 days of the order from the Office of Petroleum and Natural Gas Administration and Safety. Mr. Entuck, good morning.
Good morning, President James, Commissioners, Public Works staff. First, I want to say welcome to Commissioner Villegas. This is the first time I've been able to be before you, and welcome to the Board of Public Works, and also congratulations to Commissioner Garcia and her vice presidency role. This is an update, and I just wanted to give a little background summary just so that Commissioner Villegas is up to speed. This is an item, ordinance number 184966, that's been an ongoing item for almost 2 years now. And this was before the Board of Public Works in March of this year, where the board ordered the abandonment of the pipelines because this franchisee has not made their annual payments in more than 3 years, has incurred maximum late fees and penalties. We did have a number of risk management issues with non-compliance on bonds and insurance. There was 2 past violations issued, the most recent one of $25,000 still has not been paid. While the franchise has expired, there are terms of the franchise that carry forward. The payments, the risk management, the maintenance of the pipelines, and until the pipeline is abandoned, do those cease. And so we are still under the terms of the former ordinance that we're trying to get them to comply with. After the March 16th meeting of this year, I did request a meeting between the State Fire Marshal and NASCO on April 8th. They were non-responsive. We still have not held that meeting. On May 10th, I did communicate with State Fire Marshal about the situation so that they were aware. One of the things in the franchise agreement that it explicitly says about abandonments is that this is section 4.7, removal and abandonment of facilities, that in the event of any facility is discontinued, permanently removed from use, or no franchise has been attained or applied for upon expiration or within 6 months after any termination of the franchise, the grantee shall promptly remove from the streets all facilities involved, other than any of the Board of Public Works may permit to be abandoned as prescribed. We are long past 6 months of our time. We did grant a 60-day extension in August. We just recently had a meeting between Board of Public Works staff and the operator NASCO on October the 16th. I did write a letter after that meeting. I wasn't able to attend to, again, outline the requirements needed in an abandonment plan. And these include following the State Fire Marshal guidelines, the state and federal, but also some very basic engineering work as far as providing itemized materials to be used. There are options in the within how to abandon. One of our prescribed option in the Board of Public Works primarily is trench and remove. There are alternative options that you can abandon in place. Both of those options were not provided. We needed to make sure they were going to meet the street damage restoration standard according to the Board of Public Works. They did not provide a notice from, or a letter from the State Fire Marshal that they have noticed them of their intention to abandon. They did not provide how they're going to meet the State Fire Marshal inspection standards for abandoning the pipeline. Also, we needed, there was claims made of updated tests and inspection records that were of 2019. We do not have copies of those, and those were not provided. And additionally, we're asking for P&ID drawings, so we know specifically where the pipelines are as far as as-built aerial maps and specification schematics. They did submit a plan on October 22nd, but it is inadequate and does not meet our standards, the Bureau of Engineering abandonment standards. And I did talk to the State Fire Marshal, and it does not meet their standards as well. Again, I think the best course of action going forward is to have a joint meeting between the city and the State Fire Marshal and NASCO so that we can go over the specific requirements for each entity, which we've been trying to do for the past 6 months. But there is a section in the franchise about noticing the city of abandonment. I think we should recognize their submission on October 22nd as their notice of their intent to abandon, but we at this time cannot recommend accepting that abandonment plan. It's inadequate. Also, I did provide a letter that was sent to NASCO on the 18th that has the itemized issues that we've spoken about and met about that's needed to meet what the abandonment requirements that I recommend the Board of Public Works adopt. And so going forward, other thing in our extension, we asked them to meet with the State Fire Marshal in August, and that meeting did not occur according to the Deputy Director down in Long Beach. And so I just feel like we've spent a lot of time and we're kind of getting slow walked here, and progress has just barely been made in the last 2 weeks as far as meetings and submissions, but the critical items that we continue to ask for, working with us in the state to get an acceptable plan in place has not been met. And so I'm asking for a 2-week extension. If the board wishes to grant a 3-week extension, that's fine. But it's just wanted to give an update of, some of the challenges we've had in the last 6 months of trying to get very basic documentation and processes followed.
I'll do whichever regarding the extension. 2 weeks is November 8th. The earlier date I was given was November 15th, but November 8th is okay with our board. That I sent. So, Mr. Entuck, do we anticipate that at November 8th, that's when we'll hear one way or the other regarding the suggested recommendation on the plan?
I hope so. It's up to NASCO to be able to meet those terms. They have to do it themselves.
Okay.
We can't do it for them. The other challenge is I don't know how quickly the state fire marshal can turn around an abandonment letter, but at least progress has been made, the request has been made, the meeting has been had or scheduled. It's been a long time, and some of the basic actions haven't been made.
Okay, well, they're here. They've heard your summary this morning, and the new date, to your request of November 8th. We'll see where we are on November 8th. All right, thank you. So that report will be received on agenda item number 9. The next hearing on that will be November 8th on a Friday. Agenda item number 1. Let's go ahead and take, Mr. Sachs, you're here. Let's go ahead and take general public comment.
Thank you. Good morning again. Arnold Sachs. Too bad a lot of you couldn't get to the Metro meeting yesterday. They had a really big board meeting at Metro, giving away money like you couldn't print it fast enough. So it actually, in the long run, it makes you want to think about political reform. Maybe you ought to look at people who want to run for office, put their tax returns in so you don't just how much people are worth when they're sitting in offices, local elections. We hear a lot about that in a national election, but we don't hear too much about that locally. You'd be surprised how much money is floating around in the city of Los Angeles, and even more money that's floating around in the county. There was a big giveaway. One of the developers came away with a 99-year lease, and there was another big giveaway for parking. $190 for spaces, for 300 spaces at about $57,000, comes to about $190 per space per month, per day for a month. That's an awful lot to be spending for parking, I think. But there's a payoff there to be made because you pay that money to the business, and then the business turns around and says, hey, you know what? They gave us all this money here, and it was all done legally. Let's go and vote for these people, and everybody be happy. And one other thing, there was some changes made. I'm thinking about the Crenshaw line. When Supervisor Bratworth Burke was working, the intention of the line was that it couldn't be built because the FAA didn't want it at ground level, and they needed it in a trench, so I ran out of time. Now it's a 30-foot high wall. It's amazing what the difference can make, and nobody said anything about it.
Thank you, Mr. Sachs. No other cards on general public comment, so we'll close general public comment. Agenda item number 1, Council District 14 from Streets LA, a tree removal request for 1240 through 1260 South Figueroa Street on Pico Boulevard. Recommending that the board first find that the California Public Resources Code, Section 21166, and the state's Environmental Quality Act Guidelines, Section 15162, on the basis of substantial evidence contained in the whole record, that since the city's prior certification of the EIR, that's the Environmental Impact Report, the case numbers in the agenda, there have been no changes to the project, changes with respect to circumstances under which the project is being undertaken, or new information of substantial importance concerning the project, which caused new significant environmental effects, or a substantial increase in the severity of previously identified significant effects, and therefore no subsequent EIR, supplemental EIR, or other analysis is required for the project. Secondly, Specify that Street Services, Streets LA Urban Forestry Division, located at 1149 South Broadway, is custodian of the documents or other material that constitute the record of proceedings upon which the board's decision is based. And third, approve the request for a fee tree removal permit to remove 3 Mexican fan palms. Those are Washington robustas, and tree replacements are required. It's always interesting to me, Hector, how we have 2 names for trees. Every species has a name, and then they have the Latin name, I guess. So go ahead, sir.
Yes, good morning, President James.
And they include it in the agenda.
Yes. Good morning, President James,
All right.
Commissioners, Bureau
And
Representatives.
who would have known that Mexican fan palm translates to Washington robusta? But go ahead.
It's a genus and species. Yes. Good morning. This is Hector Banuelos with the Streets LA Urban Forestry Division. What we have before us is a request to remove 3 Mexican fan palms for proposed construction, or actually it's the current construction, of 3 hotel towers located at 1240 through 1260 North Figueroa Street at the northeast corner of Pico Boulevard and Figueroa in the Los Angeles Sports District and Entertainment District in Council District 14. As a condition to build, the developer is required to widen Pico Boulevard. The section of their street is kind of bulges out, and I guess the Bureau of Engineering is requiring developer to straighten the roadway and bring the roadway into compliance with current standards. As a result, the street widening will impact 3 Mexican fan palms that are located on Pico Boulevard side of the location.
It's a 3 feet widening, correct?
It is street widening, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's about 3 feet. It kind of varies there because it kind of bulges out
Yeah.
there, so they're trying to straighten out the roadway.
But we're not like adding a lane of traffic, because I get that inquiry sometimes about when planning requires a street widening on a project. I'm like, no, adding a lane of traffic requires you go to the entire block or many blocks.
Yes,
Yeah.
to my understanding,
But
this
go
is not
ahead.
going to add any lanes of traffic. However, it may improve just the continuity of traffic flow.
Sure.
So, as I previously mentioned, it is conditioned for the developer to perform these street improvements, which is ultimately going to impact 3 Mexican fan palms that are located on Pico Boulevard side of the location. The palm trees, or palms, measure approximately 24 inches in diameter by about 40 feet in height. The trees, if the request to remove is approved, the applicant shall plant a minimum of 6 36-inch box-sized trees as tree replacements and water the trees for a minimum 3-year period. The Department of City Planning did prepare environmental impact report for the project, and the tree removals and replacements are addressed within the contents of the environmental impact report. The Council District 14, the Department of Neighborhood Empowerment, and the Community Forestry Advisory Committee were informed of the tree removal permit request. Any questions?
Commissioner Garcia.
Thank you, President James. Question, Hector. You said that they're going to be replaced. Are they going to be replaced with palm trees as well? You said the name, but I don't know what kind of tree is that.
No, they're going to be placing, the plans show that they're going to be planting 3 African fern pines on the Pico Boulevard and 3 London plane, at least a minimum of 3 London plane trees on Figueroa Street. They're 36-inch box-sized trees.
Okay. And they'll provide shade?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Anything further? Then I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 1, seconded by Commissioner Garcia. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 1. Thank you, Mr. Banuelos. Have a nice weekend.
Yeah, thank you, too.
Any issue sending number 1 forthwith? We'll send number 1 forthwith. Agenda item number 3, a contract acceptance for Davies Way. It's a 2044 Davies Way bulkhead project in Council District 4. Recommending that the board accept the contract. Mr. Espindola.
Yes, good morning. George Spindola with the Bureau of Contract Administration. The Davis Way project, bulkhead project, was awarded to John S. Meek Company on March 7, 2018 in the amount of $686,230 with a not to exceed amount of $758,250. Notice to proceed was issued on March 19, 2018. This project constructed 110 feet along bulkhead, restoring lateral support, widening, construction of asphalt concrete berm, resurfacing, and metal guardrail of Q Drive. It's located in the Hollywood North Hollywood area. 12 change orders were issued totaling $62,786 with 33 cents, increasing the total cost of this project to $749,000 with $16.33, which is 1.22% below the not to exceed limit. Final corrections were completed on May 30th, 2019. Funding was through Measure M, SB1, and Gas Tax. BCA's Bureau of Contract Administration's Office of Contract Compliance has found that this contractor has met all the equal employment opportunities and labor compliance requirements of the contract. There are no unresolved property complaints.
All right, thank you. Any questions at all from Mr. Espindola? I don't have any questions. I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 3, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 3. Any issue sending it forthwith? We'll send number 3 forthwith. Mr. Espindola, you're here for number 4 as well. Also, Council District 4, a contract acceptance for street lighting conduit only project unit 2. Recommending that the board accept the contract. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. The street lighting conduit only project unit 2 was awarded by your board on January 25th, 2016 to KDC Incorporated, DBA Dyna Electric, in the amount of $1,378,600 with a contingency of $206,800, totaling $1,585,400. Notice to proceed was issued on January 26, 2016. This project installed street lighting conduit to facilitate future conversion of existing street lighting systems from high voltage to low voltage in the Hollywood Hills area. 5 change orders were issued totaling $80,594 with 71 cents, increasing the total value of this project to $1,459,194 with 71 cents. Final corrections were completed on October 3rd, 2016. Funding was through Measure M, Fund 51, and Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment Fund 347. Bureau of Contract Administration's Office of Contract Compliance has found that this contractor has met all the equal employment opportunities and labor compliance requirements of the contract. There are no unresolved property complaints or disputed funds.
Thank you. Commissioner Garcia?
I'm sorry, no.
Okay. No questions. I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 4, seconded by Commissioner Davis. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 4. Thank you, sir. Any issues sending number 4 forthwith? We'll send number 4 forthwith. That'll take us to agenda item number 5, Council District 13, Authority for Expenditure, Outfront Deco Street Furniture, LLC. Street Services and Accounting are requesting board approval and execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $91,727.67 to encumber additional funds for the payment of invoice numbers 91818 and 72319 from Outfront Deco Street Furniture, LLC for the removal and reinstallation of 2 existing bus shelters with advertising. Payment of invoice 80719 is for the purchase of 1 detached bus shelter and kiosk, and payment of invoice 71519A is for the removal of a flat modal transit shelter. And before we go to Ms. Mancho, we have a speaker card on number 5. Mr. Sachs.
Yes, thank you again. You know, the devil's in the details. You're looking at 2 invoices, but you're numbering for 4 invoices: 91818, 72319, 80719, and 71519A. And this is coming out of the general fund for this payment, but the street revenue, the revenue from the street services or the street furniture actually goes to the district. It'll go to the CD office. It won't even go to the district. It'll go to the council office. It's a pet peeve. The council offices get a revenue stream from like 6 or 7 different areas. Bus bench revenue, AB 1290 revenue, pipeline revenue. There are different sources of revenue that go into the council district offices, and automatically they're like in a black hole, because then the council district gets to spend that money. And if you don't mind, I just change the subject real quick. I was at a meeting last night. 2020 census is coming up for the federal government. If you go online, they're looking to hire people to help in the census. I think it's 2020census.gov. Check it out if you need a job. They're going to be starting hiring as soon as possible, and the census takes place in April. Excuse me for, I meant to put that in public comment. Always helps to have people get jobs. And so I'm concerned about that. We need to have a better accounting from the council district offices, and maybe some of that money can actually end up in neighborhood councils, and maybe some of that money can actually end up helping to improve sidewalks maybe, and some of the other problems that are
2 minutes.
rampant in some of the council districts. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sachs. Go right ahead, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning, President James and Commissioners. I'd just like to state that these invoices, all four, there are 4 invoices, they're associated with Hollywood Transit Crossroads Projects Phase 1 and Phase 2, which are grant-funded projects. And they, as part of their scope, they need some street furniture. So that's what the invoices are. There is an existing AFE for Outfront Deco, and we are asking to encumber additional funds of approximately $43,000 to cover those costs.
And you're Gina Mancha, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure that for our record, in case people go back to listen.
Yes, sorry about that.
All right. Any questions on number 5? And by the way, the removal and reinstallation, that happens on occasion. We see these authority for expenditures every now and again. Correct?
Yes, especially with these grant-funded projects that are done by our design build section. I've heard from the project manager that approximately 50% of the projects that are in construction do require some street furniture, like a shelter or a bus bench. And depending on the situation, per project, it's variable, it depends. There's no set amount of how many new or removals or installations, replacements are required. So it varies, but they are required for about 50% of at least our design build grant projects. We also have other sections that require street furniture as well.
Okay. Thank you. Any further questions? Then I'll make a motion that we adopt agenda item number 5, seconded by Commissioners Davis and Colosa. Any objection? Without objection, we'll adopt agenda item number 5. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Have a nice weekend. Any issue sending number 5 forthwith? We'll send number 5 forthwith. Dr. Campos, have we cleared the desk of voting items?
Yes, you have.
Okay, number 7 is an oral report for our stormwater capture update from sanitation. Ms. Grano?
Yes,
Great.
Paola Grano.
Welcome back.
So I do have some handouts, and Fernando's going to pass those out right now.
Saving your trip. Okay, go ahead. We have our copies.
Awesome. Okay, so good morning, everybody. My name is Paola Grano. I am an environmental engineering associate with LA Sanitation Watershed Protection Division. So first I want to go over the scale of projects that we do, page 2. So we go over, we implement projects that are on the institutional level or individual level. They include low-impact development projects, and then we go outward into distributed projects or green streets, and then we go out to regional large-scale level projects, which could be wetlands or lakes. And page 3 shows examples of low-impact development projects, which could include cisterns, rain barrels, planter boxes, South LA wetlands, bioretention swales, and other vegetative swales. Page 4 shows some recent projects that were just approved by the board last week on October 16, 2019. So thank you very much, board, for approving those. It includes the Lincoln Boulevard Great Street Project, Agnes Avenue, Victory Boulevard, and Glen Oaks Boulevard. next we have the Central Jefferson and Quincy Jones Green Alley Network. So these projects total 1.5 acres of green alley that will be revitalized for stormwater capture. Funding was received by the Trust for Public Land from various grants and donations. This includes grants from the State Water Resources Control Board, State Coastal Conservancy, Ocean Protection Council, Community Development Block Grant, and the total funds that were received are $6,900,000. And right now, LA San is drafting an MOU with TPL to execute this project as the landowner, as they will be built on the public right-of-way. Next, we have the Boyle Heights Green Alley project in Council District 14. This is a $3 million project that we just applied for from the Prop 68 Green Infrastructure Grant. We made it through step 1, and we competed with 98 other projects statewide. And then we went on to step 2, which was a roundtable discussion and project site walk. So the photo here shows a site walk with the California Natural Resources Agency and stakeholders. It was very well attended by nonprofits in Council District 14, the Council District Office, and a local school, the Euclid Avenue Elementary School. And everyone was very happy about the project. They were on board with it. And something really awesome about this project is that it will implement 500 street trees, as well as 2 dry wells and 2 bioswales. And we will know if we went on to the next step of the vetting process by mid-November. It has a drainage area of 25 acres and an estimated capture of 25 acre-feet per year of stormwater. So next we have the Bradley Plaza Green Alley. It has a drainage area of 4 acres and an estimated capture of 5.5 acre-feet per year. We just commenced construction about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the photos here are photos from construction. Next, we have the Argo Drain Subbasin Facility located in Council District 11. This project has a drainage area of 2,400 acres and an estimated stormwater capture of 1,400 acre-feet per year. Construction is 35% complete, and here are the most recent photos as well for construction. And there were no rain events this quarter, so nothing to report there, but we are continuing maintenance of all of the projects that we've implemented. We are vacuuming gutters that are permeable and pressure washing pavers and trimming vegetation and bioswales, clearing inlets and clearing trash. Next, we have upcoming projects coming to the board this winter. It includes the Slauson Green Alley in Council District 11. It will regrade and resurface 500 feet of alley to implement an infiltration trench. We have the Kitty Hawk Green Alleyway, also in Council District 11. It will implement 5 infiltration dry wells. The Ben and Victory Green Street, Council District 2. It will implement 14 bioretention planters and dry wells. And we have the McCormick Green Improvement, also in Council District 2, and it will implement 2 infiltration dry wells. And any questions?
Thank you. Any questions at all? Commissioner Villegas.
Hi, good to meet you. Thank you for this report. I really appreciate it. Some of these projects are just near and dear, so I always follow what you guys are doing.
Awesome.
And I'm really excited that you're doing some work in CD7. They need a lot of infrastructure work just on flooding. Just had I'm not from that area, but I've done a lot of work in that area, and I know that there's been just a big push, so it's good to see those projects here. And as the storm season's already commenced, I'm looking forward just to seeing how the projects do.
Absolutely.
And it's good to hear also just the amount of, stormwater that we're going to be able to capture. Some of it we'll be treating, and some of it we'll just use for irrigation. So I commend you guys for all that effort.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Villegas. Anything else? Thank you, ma'am. The oral report will be received.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Have a nice weekend. Agenda item number 8 is our weekly report from Streets LA on our status update on major upcoming street improvement projects. Tobias Cristales.
Good morning, President James, Commissioners, and Bureau Representatives. My name's Tobias. Sorry. My name's Tobias Cristales. I'm a Superintendent 1 with the Valley Resurfacing and Reconstruction Division. I'm here to give our report on the resurfacing projects that we're doing this weekend and the upcoming weekend. In an effort of keeping the public informed on our resurfacing projects, which may cause delays to the commuters, Streets LA would like to provide a status update on upcoming major street improvement projects. In the metro region, we'll be paving and coal milling on Saturday, October 26th and Sunday, October 27th from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Main Street from 7th Street to 11th Street. The funding is PPP from our Pavement Preservation Program in Council District 14, and it's in the Downtown Neighborhood Council. On Saturday, November 2nd and Sunday, November 3rd from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. we will be co-milling and paving Main Street from 2nd Street to 7th Street from the funding PPP. It's also in Council District 14 and the Downtown Neighborhood Council. For the Valley region, the next 2 projects for this weekend, there was a revision that we couldn't get to you, but the flyers are showing the notification went out with the correct information. So here's what I have. We have Osborne Street from Laurel Canyon all the way to Arleta. It's broken down in 2 projects, so let me try to get this correct here. So tomorrow, October 26th, and Sunday, October 27th. On Saturday, we'll be milling from 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. And on Sunday, from 4 a.m. to 3 p.m., we'll be paving. This will be on Osborne Street from Laurel Canyon Boulevard to Golden State Freeway. And the second part would be from the Laurel Canyon to the Golden State Freeway, also on Osborne. On Saturday, November 2nd and Sunday, November 3rd, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., we'll be milling and paving Parthenia Street from Independence to Canoga Avenue. The fund is PPP. It's in CD3 and Canoga Neighborhood Council. I'm sorry, the previous one on Osborne, the funding is PPP. It's Council District 7 and in the Pacoima Neighborhood Council. So the press releases reflect the changes that I'm giving you now for the Osborne projects. And they've been sent out. And the affected CDs also have been helpful with the outreach to the stakeholders. Streets LA has communicated with DOT traffic control needs. This concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. Any questions at all? Okay, thank you for the explanation. The oral report will be received. Dr. Campos, have we cleared the desk?
Yes, you have.
Then we are adjourned. Everyone have a nice weekend with the exception of a brief management committee meeting in the conference room. Other than that, have a great weekend.